Hi, I'm Dr. Nusbaum, CEO of Backlinks of Canada, and over the next few minutes I'm going to answer some of the many questions I get about what we do here and how we help people who've been suffering from severe back or neck pain coming from bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs. One of the most common questions we get is, what is non-surgical spinal decompression? The next question that we get is, does the process hurt? Thirdly, we're also asked about Class 4K laser. So over the next few moments, we're going to answer these and many other questions. So let's get started. So the name of our program is called the High Performance Healing System. There are three main components of the High Performance Healing System. They are non-surgical spinal decompression. Secondly is Class 4K laser. And thirdly, a medical nutritional supplementation system called Disc Renewal Plus. Let's talk about now spinal decompression. Spinal decompression is an evolutionary improvement over the old style traction. Traction is a linear stretching that does not offer the kind of precision and the ability to locate where we want to stretch the spine. Now, when you contrast that with spinal decompression, what non-surgical spinal decompression allows me to do is it allows me to stretch exactly over the area where there is a damaged disc, whether it's a bulging, herniated disc or a thin or degenerative disc. Now, this process is painless. Patients love it for that very reason. The stretching actually creates a suction in the actual damaged disc, and the impact of that is it rehydrates the disc, and simultaneously, if there's any bulges, herniations, or extrusions, it helps to reduce or pull that away to reduce any nerve pressure. And it's resulted in unbelievable improvements over the case of patients who've been suffering with damaged discs. The second component is called Class 4K laser. And Class 4K laser is the most powerful in the different categories of lasers that exist for therapeutic purposes. Now, what the laser is essentially is a form of light, and this light is then aimed to the damaged disc and it's absorbed into the damaged disc. And the impact of that Class 4K laser is it helps to reduce pain, reduces inflammation, and it promotes healing. So the combination of spinal decompression with Class 4K laser has resulted in better results that we've ever seen clinically. And the third component that we offer is called Disc Renewal Plus. So Disc Renewal Plus is a medical nutritional supplementation system. It's drug-free, there are no narcotics, there's no drugs whatsoever, it's all natural. And this product, which is in capsule form, helps to also reduce pain, inflammation, and promote healing. There's many, many more other components to the system, but these are the ones that patients always ask about. And the combined approach has let us achieve far better results than we've ever seen before, better lasting results, and most of all, it's been so helpful for patients, and patients have been so happy with the results they've been getting. When patients come to us, after they check in the office, they're first escorted to our heating area, where patients will receive a heat treatment for about 5 minutes or so. That helps to make the muscles more elastic so that your back isn't naturally going to fight the effects of the non-surgical spinal decompression. Following the heat treatment, we put the patients in a specialized harness so that we can actually connect them to the machine. We lower the bed, move the bed into place, and then we place a comfortable pillow underneath their knees. And then we choose the very important, unique settings for every patient to make sure they're getting exactly the right treatment to get the maximum healing effect every time that they're here. They'll receive spinal decompression for approximately 25 minutes. Now, when they're done, we bring them up nice and slowly, and then we escort them over to our icing area. They'll receive ice to their back or their neck, probably approximately 5 to 10 minutes, and then we move to our next component of the program, which is the Class 4K laser treatment. The settings are chosen specifically for the unique needs of the patient, and the amount of time that they receive their laser sessions can vary from person to person. But one of the common responses that I get for almost everybody that undergoes the laser is how pleasant it feels. They feel a warming sensation. Many patients are finished the care within a number of weeks, considering that many patients have been suffering for months or even years for that matter. That's a pretty amazing fact. We'll then conduct a progress assessment to make sure that we see evidence that there is appropriate healing and improvement, and we'll make any changes necessary to improve the results of the care based on the results we get from the examinations of these patients. We'll also prescribe appropriate flexibilities to the individual patients, whether they're here for their neck or for their low back, to help get them back on the track of normal movement. When we get to the very end, we'll do a final assessment to see whether or not, in fact, the patient has achieved their maximal benefit, after which, if they have, then we'll provide for them core strengthening stretches for either their low back, spine, or the neck, because we want to ensure that we get not only the best results, but they last as long as possible. As I mentioned, patients don't experience pain when they're on the non-surgical spinal decompression machines. So what exactly do they feel? Well, if you walk through the halls, you'll notice that either patients are watching Netflix on one of our large screen televisions, or many of them actually fall asleep or even just read emails. Most of the patients tell me that when they're undergoing non-surgical spinal decompression, it's one of the most relaxing moments of the day. Some of the more common questions that we get is, how successful is this care, and do the results last? The vast majority of these patients are getting unprecedented results in pain relief that they've only imagined that they could get and haven't sought in the past, but are getting with the high-performance healing system at Backlinks of Canada. And our own studies and research are showing that the vast majority of our patients are maintaining a pain-free state. We even offer a maintenance program for patients who want to minimize the risk of having relapses. All in all, this care has been revolutionary to the treatment of patients who've been suffering from severe back or neck pain. Now, I hope that you will consider to come to us at least for a free consultation to see if we can accept you for care. Really, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain to see if we might be able to help you. We can be reached by going to the web at backclinicsofcanada.ca, or you can speak to any of my staff by calling locally 416-633-3666 or 1-877-PAIN-FREE, and any of my friendly staff will be more than happy to speak with you and arrange for a free consultation. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope that you'll have a pain-free day.